Modal Counterpoint, Cantus Firmus Part 4, Modal Jazz and Early Music Origins. Today we'll talk a bit about modal scales as they relate to a Cantus Firmus. There is a lot to the concept of modes that we will not go into here, but if you're interested, the Wikipedia article on mode music covers a great deal. It's a good read for your inner musicologist. As to familiar applications of mode today, jazz and popular musicians conceive of 6 or perhaps 7 modes derived from the series of 7 tones of the major scale. This is a list: Ionian Mode, which is major; Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, which is minor; and a theoretical mode called Locrian. We will leave aside Locrian Mode for now. Notice the final and starting tones of the 6 modes, also the semitone position of each tetrachord. Such factors determine the individual character or sound of each mode. We encourage students to play up and down the 6 modes and their tetrachords. We know that a major and minor scale having the same key signature are called relatives. It is similar with the modes. The 6 modal scales that share the same key signature are related to each other. It also follows that, by extension, all the modes can be transposed to other keys. For our studies of voice leading, we'll separate the 6 modes into 2 categories, depending on whether the tonic triad of the mode and the first or lower tetrachord are major, or minor. We can go further and pair up major-minor dyads that are a minor third apart in a manner similar to the way we match up the relative major and minor scales. Ionian Mode pairs with the Aeolian, which is the same as major-minor. Lydian with Dorian, and Mixolydian with Phrygian. We treat C Ionian and A Aeolian much like major and minor. The final note of C is Do, A is La, and in Aeolian, the 6th and especially 7th degrees can be raised and lowered as voice leading demands it. Nothing new here. F Lydian occasionally introduces the B-flat tone, often in the descending direction. So much of the time, F Lydian is the same as Ionian, transposed to F, and is treated in much the same way. F is Do, B-flat is Fa, B natural is Fi, Fi. The present video does not go into medieval polyphony, though perhaps it will be of interest later on. Essentially, that medieval and Renaissance concept of authentic and plagal modes relates mainly to voice ranges, soprano, alto, tenor, and bass, the final being the lowest tone of an authentic mode, but the 4th tone of a plagal mode. Moving on. In view of the foregoing, the remainder of this presentation deals with just 3 modes, untransposed: D Dorian, G Mixolydian, and E Phrygian. The lower tetrachord and tonic triad of Dorian mode are minor, but when a leading tone is required, the 7th degree can be, and often is, raised a chromatic semitone. D is La, B is Fi, C sharp is Si, Si. To show this is optional, we add a special accidental called musica ficta above the seventh tone. La, ti, do, re, mi, fi, si, la, ascending. For a descending line, the sixth degree note B can be and often is lowered a chromatic semitone to B flat. This is much like the natural or descending version of the melodic minor scale. The final D is the La, C is Sol, and B flat is Fa. La, Sol, Fa, Mi, Re, Do, Ti, La, descending. The lower tetrachord and tonic triad are now major. The seventh degree note F of Mixolydian mode may be optionally raised to create the artificial leading tone F sharp if voice leading requires. G is the Do, and F sharp is Ti, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, ascending. When descending, the seventh degree returns to the subtonic status of the degree, and third degree B is occasionally lowered a chromatic semitone as well to B flat. The final G is Do, F is Te, and B flat is Me. Do, Te, La, Sol, Fa, Me, Re, Do. Phrygian is a minor mode similar to Dorian and Aeolian. The note E is the La, because the tonic triad and lower tetrachord of E Phrygian feature a minor third. La, Te, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La. Latte? Would you like sugar in your latte? How about a croissant? The raised seventh degree is rare in Phrygian mode. However, the second degree of E Phrygian, F, is only a semitone above the final. La, Sol, Fa, Mi, Re, Do, Te, La, descending. So this second scale degree in Phrygian functions as a de facto leading tone. How does it sound to you? Here are a few examples of Cantus Firmi in Dorian. Mixolydian. And Phrygian. That's all for now. Place a comment if you have a question, share the link with someone who might benefit, and tap that thumbs up button if you like the material. Here is an epitome of the guidelines on Cantus Firmus that we covered. Feel free to take a selfie with it. Thank you for watching.